So today's video is going to be a full face of Colourpop and also the Colourpop and Kathleen Light's Zodiac collection. I know that this collection's been out for a while, but I don't think I've actually done a full look with all of the products from the collection. Like, I've done a look with the eyeshadow palette and the highlight and the lipstick, but I haven't done a look with the eyeshadow palette, the blushes, the highlight, and the lipstick, so I kind of wanted to incorporate all of that into this look today. I'm not going to be using the pigments though. I'm just going to be using the eyeshadow palette. I don't need to use like the pigments because I do use the Lion pigment a ton. I just want to do like a simple look with my Colourpop Zodiac palette, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I do know that she did release a new palette, and I'm kind of very tempted to pick it up. I keep on going back and forth to see whether or not I'm going to get it, and I still haven't gotten it yet. And basically when I wanted to get it, like check out and get it, it was sold out. Like literally the day after it came out, it was sold out. Sorry, I forgot to grab my mirror. Give me 2 seconds. But yeah, I was like, maybe that's a sign that I don't need it yet. But I'm really tempted to try it. It looks beautiful. Honestly, it looks so different. Like, the color combinations that I feel like Kathleen comes up with Colourpop are very unique. And I feel like there's like nothing else out there with like color combos that they come out with their palettes. Like the Dream Street palette is still one of my top favorite palettes ever. It's like one of my holy grails. And that's still like the best palette I feel like that she's come out with. The Zodiac, the color combo is very different. It's not my absolute favorite from her, but it's different enough for it to still make some type of statement and still be new and fun and different. That I just think that they come out with great collections. And I know like people are going to say like, oh, you're standing for her, whatever, but I do think that the collections they come out with are very interesting and fun and different. I feel like they're way different than like most of the collaborations that come out with other YouTubers and other brands, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to pick those up. So I just primed my eyes with my Milani eyeshadow primer because Colourpop doesn't actually have an eyeshadow primer, so that's why I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to set my eyes with my Colourpop No Filter setting powder, because I do use this sometimes to set my eyes, like when I use concealer and stuff, but it's also great to just set your eyes when you just use your primer. But mostly I use this to set my under eyes because I do love it as an under eye setting powder. But we're just going to set my primer with that for now. And then we are going to jump into the Zodiac palette. I'm going to be doing a pretty basic look today, nothing too crazy, just because I'm actually getting ready to go to a doctor's appointment. I do have a doctor's appointment later today at 2:30. Let me just confirm that first before I get ready. Okay, yes I do, so that's good. So I just want to clean my brush off with my color switch. I have been so lazy with keeping my brushes clean lately, but I just rub it around in my color switch and call it a day. So I'm just going to use the Libra first, which is the soft, like, pinky shade. And I'm just going to use that as a quick transition, just because I want still a little bit of color in the crease built up, because I'm not really going to be doing too much of an involved look, like I said, because this is probably, like, the most basic look that I do with this palette. But I still want some type of transition shade, and this is going to get covered up by the crease shade anyway. I'm just going to take that. It's like a pinky neutral color, pinky blushy color. So I'm just going to take that. I am really tired. I actually had to go out of the house earlier because I had to go take my car to be serviced with my mom. So I've already been up like a couple of hours. I've been up since like 9:40. It's like almost 1 right now because I did set my alarm for like a little bit before 10. And I didn't do my makeup to go there. I'm like, there's no point, obviously. Like, that would be stupid. And I'm not going to get up super early just to film a video. Like I said, I don't have enough viewers to have that kind of time. Unless it's something I know that I want to do a first impression on. That's like the only time I'll do it. But if it's something like this, I'm not going to get ready until I absolutely have to. So, yeah. And then for my crease shade, I'm just going to take the shade The Taurus, which is a little bit more of a dirtier brown. And I think the thing with this palette, I love it. I think the color combos are so much fun of what I come up with this palette. The only thing is that I wish it had like one more matte shade because it only has like 3 kind of shades that you can actually use as like crease shades. And then the rest of the crease shades are kind of like those matte purpley colors because there are a bunch of shimmers in this palette. There's 6 shimmers and actually there's 7 shimmers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 shimmers and only 5 mattes. So, and I feel like the mattes aren't really like your everyday shades besides like this shade and like the Virgo and stuff like that. So, those are typically the shades that I go for like every time I use this palette. So, if I want to do like an everyday look, but I want to utilize the palette as much as I can, obviously. So yeah, I did want to get the Colourpop So Jaded palette, but I kind of held off because one, I didn't really want to spend too much money when I got paid this past Friday because like I said, like I really am not working as much. But if I just pick up that one palette, like it's not going to break the bank. It's not like it's super expensive. I mean, it is almost 40 bucks, which is expensive, but at least it comes with double the... It's basically just double the price of these. Like, these are like $12 to $15, I think. And then because it, like 12 plus another 12 of these would be like 24. So it's a little bit more than that, but it comes with 30 shades. So it's more than double the amount of like 2 of these palettes because these are usually typically 12 pan palettes. And then for my crease shade, I'm just going to dip into the Virgo, which is the matte brown. And I'm just going to run that through to define the crease a little bit. Just not too much, but it's just a matte brown. Kathleen says that this is like the one eyeshadow she like can't live without. Even though there is a black in this palette, which I think is pretty funny because she says that the Virgo is like the most essential shade for her out of any of her palettes. I guess the Dream Street isn't as essential as like this shade. But that's what she said when she was creating the So Jaded palette, that she basically like created a color in that palette as well that is very similar to the Virgo. And she's like, I feel like every palette needs a matte brown instead of a matte black because there's actually no black in that palette, and I kind of appreciate that because I never use black. I use a matte brown in pretty much every single look that I do in existence, so yeah. And I think I forgot to grab my glitter primer as well. I'm just all over the place today. So let me go do that real quick. Okay, there's always something that I forget to grab, so I'm just going to take my NYX glitter primer. Again, Colourpop doesn't have eyeshadow primer, and they certainly don't have a glitter primer, so I'm just going to take that. Mostly every single product is going to be Colourpop except for like my brows and my primer and my setting spray. That's all I basically don't have from Colourpop. I've been wanting to do a full face of Colourpop for a while anyway, so I figured since I have 99% of the products that I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. And like I said, they don't make primers for the eyes, so which I'm actually surprised that they don't. They probably will soon. That's probably the next product they're gonna come out with, because that's like literally the only product they haven't come out with. Okay. And then for the eyes, I think I'm gonna take the Leo. I haven't used it in such a long time, and I don't want to go typical gold route, and this is kind of in between. It's not like super orangey, and it looks so pretty on the eyes. Yeah, that's definitely neutral enough for me to wear today. It's like a bronzy orangey color. And I'm just going to put that all over my lid because obviously that's my sign. And I still wanted to use it. I actually did not even use any of these, like this one or the Lion shade in my birth month this year, which was last month. Because my birthday's in August, I didn't use these at all. And last year I was like obsessed with using this shade in August. Like I used it so much because I'm like, I need to use it as much as I can. So that's my sign shade. And I can't believe this palette's already a year old then, because I remember that the first shade that I had tried from this palette, I threw like Leo on all over the lid. Um, after I had done my makeup already, I think it was like for a meeting or something. No. I just threw it on to like test it out to like go to my boyfriend's house or something, I think. Just to put over like the makeup I was already wearing. And I loved it like so much. But I definitely did not use the palette half as much this year. I mean, I use this a ton, but I haven't used it in a while. But I've definitely used it. There was like a point this past year where I was using it quite a bit. But I haven't reached for it in a while. And then for my brow bone highlight, you guys know I pretty much use this as my brow bone highlight pretty much every single day. I'll show it to you guys in a second. I just want to pop it on first. So I just took my Colourpop 12 pan palette that I made with this little palette because I needed to get a new palette so I could fit the Colourpop and Kathleen Light's blushes inside of the bigger palettes because they didn't fit in here. So I was like, let me just move like my everyday shades into one palette. And as you guys can see, I have pan on quite a few of them. These are the only Colourpop shadows I have pan on, but that's 5, so that's nothing to sneer at. That's pretty awesome. But Hear Me Out is obviously well loved, and you can see that I use it a ton, and it's my favorite brow bone highlight pretty much for every day. So that's what I just popped on. Alright, so I'm just going to clean up the crease a bit, and I'm going to prime my face, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned up the crease. Sorry, I just want to drink as much water as I can right now because I only had coffee this morning, and then I went to the Ford service with my mom, so I didn't drink any water yet. So I'm just going to prime my face with the NYX primer spray, and then for my regular primer, I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Poreless Primer. I've just been loving this primer lately. Actually, this is the Mineral Primer, and I don't even need that much of it, and it's so good. Like, such a good primer. It just feels so nourishing on the skin. I love it. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, so now we're going to do the face. Colourpop doesn't really have, like, a light coverage foundation. Even though this one's lighter coverage than the No Filter Liquid Foundation. And also, this is Kathleen Light's favorite foundation from Colourpop. I mean, they only have 2, but she prefers this one over the liquid. I'm going to use this one today. So this is the No Filter Stick Foundation in the shade Fair 05W. Can I speak today? And I'm not going to do too much just because I still want to keep it like light. So I'm just going to do like 3 swipes, and I'm just going to like try and keep it lighter coverage because I don't need like super full coverage today. So I think that's all I'm going to do. Again, just not keep it like too much coverage, and then I'm just going to blend it out. My sponge is a bit dry, so I'm going to flip it over just to put some water on my face. And I'm just going to blend it out, and it looks pretty light today, which I do like, because like I said, I don't really want to go for like full coverage today, so... So yeah, I haven't been to a doctor in a while, and I'm pretty nervous to go. So I feel like this is kind of calming me down a bit by doing my makeup, but I still have anxiety about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up food for me and my boyfriend after the appointment, because I am going to see him after that. The office that I'm going to is like 15 minutes away from me, and my boyfriend is about 25 minutes away from where I'm going to be. So I was thinking that I'm just going to go straight to his house after the appointment, but I also want to go to one of the stores in the village because that's where I'm going. It's like the other part of my town. It's like 15 minutes away. Like, it's not like I can just walk there. Like, I have to drive there. So I'm not in that area all the time, and they have like my favorite store there. Like, it's like really like my favorite store. I love it so much. It's called Vines and Roses, and I kind of wanted to stop by there after the appointment was over. And then I was thinking to go get us Little Vincent's Pizza, but I have to go take out cash, which I kind of forgot to do. Or I might just Zelle my mom the money if she gives me like a $20 bill. Okay, so for my concealer, I was just literally just gonna do it without telling you what it was, but Colourpop only has one concealer, which is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. Again, this one's not like the lightest coverage, so I'm gonna try and make it lighter. But you guys know this is one of my favorite concealers. I mean, it's a great concealer. And I'm using the shade Fair 8. And as you guys can see, this one I'm trying to use up. So I have used it a ton. And again, I'm going to try and be light-handed with this. I do like that this one is a little bit more neutral for my skin, like this shade, rather than Fair 2, which is a lot brighter. I kind of want to go for more neutral today and not like as brightening. So I don't like super stark concealers when I'm like doing more natural looks. I like those more like when I do more full coverage looks, because then it really brightens your under eyes. Excuse me, sorry. But like after I'm done doing my makeup, I do want to eat something before I leave because I haven't eaten since breakfast this morning, and that was like at 10. So I'm going to eat a little something before I leave because I know if I don't, I'm going to be starving after the appointment. And then all I'm going to want to do is just go to his house and eat. So, and I've been trying to regulate myself to eat normal 3-day meals, normal meals 3 times a day, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I usually, 99% of the time, I don't eat dessert anymore just because it keeps me awake at night. So I am feeling myself get a little bit hungry now. So, all right, so now I'm going to apply it. Now I'm going to apply it underneath my eyes. Again, I'm not going to try and take too much. It does feel like this is like running out, so that's good. I think that's all I'm going to do. I don't want it to be too full coverage. And I'm just going to blend that underneath my eyes. I feel like I should have put more directly underneath my eye, but it's aight, it's aight. What is going on? Why is it super patchy today? It just looks super dry and patchy. That's just weird. Okay. Guess it doesn't want to really cooperate with me today. That's fine. I might just have to add like a little bit more to that eye. I don't know, that's weird. I guess because it's older, it might like just be a little bit weird in formula now. Sometimes that can happen if it gets old, so I know this concealer always works for me, so sometimes it can just be because it's old. And also because my sponge might be a little bit too damp. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Again, I think I just might put on a little bit more in this area here. And a little bit more here. See if that will help a little bit more. Sometimes you need 2 layers of concealer, so yeah, that looks a little better. Sometimes sometimes it feels like it takes a century to blend out your concealer. I feel like it takes longer than to blend out your foundation. You feel me? Like, I feel like sometimes, like, your concealer just does not want to blend, and then it just, like, is so annoying. I mean, again, the only products that, like, I know that Colourpop makes that I just don't own is their primer and their setting spray. So don't, like, come at me for that. I don't think anyone's really going to care. So, yeah. And then to set my under eyes, I'm going to use the Colourpop No Filter Setting Powder to set my under eyes with that, if I could find the brush that I use. This is a very, like, literally I just tap my brush and it, like, literally picks up so much product. So I do really like this setting powder. It's really nice. But I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to pick up food from there. Just because one, I know by the time I get to my boyfriend's house, it's not going to be warm anymore because it's going to take me at least 20 minutes to almost a half hour just to get to him. And I know since I'm going to be in the area, I really do want their pizza though. Like their pizza's so good. I might just pick up a slice for myself. But I know it's going to be too early for me to eat dinner then if I just eat a slice by myself before I like go home. So I'm still kind of torn because I want to eat lunch at home because, you know, I don't want to spend money on eating lunch out. So, okay, so I do want to just smudge a little bit on the lower lash line. So I'm just going to take the Taurus really quick and I'm just going to take that and smudge it underneath. Just because I want to add a tiny bit of definition. I typically skip this because I have been super hella lazy about my lower lash line lately, but hey, I feel like doing it today, so. And I don't know why I always worry if I'm gonna have enough time to like eat and stuff, but like I said, I'm only eating tuna fish, so it really should only take me like 10 minutes and then I can come back and do my lipstick. Alright, so I think that is good. That looks really good on the lower lash line. Alright, and then for the inner corners, I'm going to take like, oh, this shade is so pretty in this palette, is the shade the Gemini, which you guys know I'm a sucker for gold, but it's like my favorite gold. One of my favorite golds ever, and I love putting it on the inner corners and all over the lid, but I don't really want to put the Leo all in the up in there, so why is there crap on my inner corners right now? Does anybody else get that, like, when they're doing their inner corner shade, somehow, like, crap builds up on the inner corners? What is that? Alright, whatever. I think I got it. And that's just part of the concealer. And there's still crap on my inner corners. I swear. I don't know why that happens. Does that happen to anybody else? Like after you do your foundation and your concealer, somehow there's eye goo on your inner corners and you're just like, how did this happen? Sorry, I am cleaning that up. Do I want to get rid of that? Because I always feel like when I do this, it just creases my concealer, but I think I'm doing a pretty good job of just wiping it away, so I think my concealer survived that, so I think we're good. I did put on a ton of that shade on the other side, because I always forget how pigmented the Colourpop shades are, that you really, like, don't need to build them up too much. Alright, so that's that. So we're almost done with the eyes. So for the waterline, I'm gonna attempt to take this one. This is the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Mr. Bing. Honestly, this is probably super old, but this is the only one that I've barely used, honestly, because this is the only product from Kathleen Lights and Colourpop that I've never really been super impressed with. Like, it hurts on the lower lash line, and it doesn't really show up. Like, do you see that? Like, I have to swipe it so many times, and it just doesn't show up. So forget that. I'm just going to use my trusty Call Me color. This is one of the brown liners from Colourpop, and this one always shows up really nice. So I hope this isn't the red toned one. I hope that this is the actual brown one. I might have grabbed the wrong one that I wanted to use, but this is why I don't typically use Colourpop ones anymore, because they never really show up on me. But I don't really need that much of it today anyway, so. Do you see how much better it showed up on this side than this side? Alright, that's better. Because I put in that freaking Mr. Bing color before and it didn't do what I wanted it to do, but this one showed up just fine. And that looks like a color that I wanted to use, so yeah. So now we're just going to coat the lashes with some mascara. So I'm just going to use the BFF Volumizing Mascara. And I actually forgot to say that the only other product that I don't own from Colourpop is their pressed powder, because I didn't hear half as good as reviews about the powder as the pressed powder as I did about the loose one. So I'm just going to set my face off camera, but at the same time, like, it's still going to be an affordable product. And I do love the Colourpop BFF mascara. The only thing about it is that it does get a lot of buildup on the wand, but it is a great mascara. I really do like it. It's one of my faves. So I'm just going to coat the lashes with that. Somehow I always get hair in my face no matter what. The under eyes look pretty good now, actually. Sometimes with that under eye setting powder, I don't love it with like other concealers, but with this one, it always looks good. I mean, hello, it is part of the collection. But sometimes not always the same like products from one collection work together. Sometimes they don't always like mesh well, which is weird because you would think they would. Alright, again, I'm just going to do pressed powder and lower lash mascara off camera because they're both not Colourpop products, and I will be right back. Okay, so I just set my face, and now I'm going to jump in to my bronzer, and I already did my lower lash mascara as well. Excuse me again. I just used my MAC Eye Stand to Play Get Black Lash on my lower lash line, which is the only product that I used in this video today that wasn't affordable, and then I used my Wet n Wild pressed powder to set my face. I just did a very light dusting, so... Okay, so for my face, I'm going to be using my Colourpop bronzer in the shade Private Party. As you guys can see, this is a very well-loved bronzer by me. I absolutely love it. It's just such a nice tone for me. It's very cool tone. Again, this was the shade that Kathleen Lights recommended, and this is her favorite bronzer color from Colourpop as well. So I'm just going to bronze up the skin with that. And then we'll jump into the rest of the Zodiac products. I know the only one I've used is on my eyes, but obviously, like, she didn't come out with a foundation or a mascara with that collection or, like, a concealer, so. But everything is still Colourpop. So the place I'm going to, like, the doctor that I'm going to, I've never been to before, obviously. And the doctor that we were recommended doesn't accept new patients, and the doctor that I'm going to is like in the same building as the doctor that I was recommended, but he doesn't have as high of a rating as the physician that I was supposed to go to, but she's not accepting any new patients, so I'm just like, what's the point? Like, I might as well just go to this guy. Like, he still has a 4 out of 5, which is still a good rating, so... And then everybody's like, didn't you want a female? And I'm just like, whatever. He's just gonna give me a checkup anyway, so. Okay, so that's that. And then for the blush, I'm gonna jump into the Kathleen Lights and Colourpop Zodiac blushes. I've used these on camera before countless times, I think, since I've gotten them. I absolutely love them. They're super pigmented, and I've always loved, like, so many powder products from Colourpop. So I'm going to take the shade, this is called I Need Space. I'm pretty sure this is called I Need Space. These magnets are, like, ridiculous in here. Yeah. No, Lunar has it. I just want to, I thought my mom was calling my name for a second, but I think she was just talking to my brother. So I'm just going to take that. And again, these are super pigmented, so you barely need to dip your brush in them, and I'm just going to use that. You can use a very light hand, and it builds up really, really nicely. Like, I'm just going to take a little bit more. Just like that. I'm going to do the same on this face. On this face, on this side, on this face. Obviously, I have one face, not two. But again, my mom like wants to come with me, but I might want to go to like the store that I was talking about and then go pick up food for us, but I don't know. I might not just because I want to not spend money still. So I still wanted to look there. Because she already came with me to the Ford service this morning, and now she wants to come with me to the appointment. So, I mean, I don't really need my mom to hold my hand for everything, but I guess she just wants to see if he's going to be a good doctor for me because I don't have a doctor, and I haven't been to a doctor in a long time. So, all right, so now it's time for my favorite part, which is highlight. I also love the Dreamscape highlighter, and I love all the rest of these blushes. This one is I Need Space. This one is So Retrograde, and this one is called My Sun and Stars. They're all stunning. And this shade, I believe it's called Dreamscape, right? Yeah, this is freaking stunning, this highlight. So gorgeous. I might even pop it on over the highlight that I'm using. So the highlight that I'm using, obviously, is the Colourpop Super Shock highlight in the shade On the Cusp. This is like one of my favorites as well. It's so freaking beautiful. As you can see, I've used it a ton. It's such a gorgeous shade. I'm just going to apply it with my ABH brush, but I might take quite a bit with my finger as well. But this one builds up pretty nicely with your brush as well. I'm going to start with the brush and then I'll probably take more with my fingers to like really get the shine. And then I'm definitely gonna go eat something and then we'll finish up with the lips. So I'm just gonna take my finger and I'm going to tap that in over her. And that's when you really get the effect of that highlighter, is when you use your fingers. And then I'm gonna just blend it with my brush. And that's when you can really see how pretty it is. But it does blend in like better when you use the brush afterwards and kind of blends in better with your skin. It's so pretty. I love it. I'm going to take a little bit on my nosy. Just like that. So yesterday, like I was supposed to work like a closing shift, but then like my boss wanted to cut me and I was like, I can't not work. So I ended up only working like 3 hours yesterday. So I'm just going to set my face with my flower setting spray. And I use the dewy one, which I freaking love. And then I'm just going to do my brows while I'm talking. I'm just using my L'Oreal Brow Spoolie, and then I'm just going to fill them in with my L'Oreal Brow Gel, but I was like, no, I need to work, like, figure something out. So she said that I could come in for 3 hours, so I was like, okay. But I'm really struggling to get hours this week, and I didn't want to, like, make my boyfriend see me because I told him he could work, because he didn't work on Saturday because he was supposed to, but then he ended up going to a Mets game with his family. So I was like, if you want to work last night, you can, because I'm going to work too because I need the hours, but it only ended up being a 3-hour shift. So it kind of sucked, but at the same time, I was like, whatever, at least it's, you know, still money. But I really need a new job. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna go eat something, and then I'll come back and finish up with my lips. All right, you guys, so now I'm just gonna finish up the look, and I'm going to line my lips with the Colourpop Skimpy Lip Liner. For some reason, like, I think I decluttered a couple of older ones, and this is like the only nude one I still have left, so yeah. This one's pretty old too, but still works. Even though I wouldn't typically line my lips for like an everyday look like this. I wanted to still do it on camera. Can I speak? I don't know what is going on with my hair. Like, it's driving me crazy, honestly. I feel like I need to get new Colourpop liners, honestly. Because this one kind of pulls in certain areas. And then for my lipstick, obviously going to go in with one of the Colourpop and Kathleen Light's Luxe lipsticks from the Zodiac collection, and this one is in the shade What's Your Sign. Literally like my favorite nude ever in existence. I love this lipstick so much. I wear it so often, so I'm just gonna apply that. And then I have to go. I have like 2 minutes until I have to leave. That's why I put my jewelry on first. Typically, I don't wear my jewelry throughout the video because like it annoys me when like you can hear it like too much when you're like doing your makeup. I feel like it's too much noise, and also like I hate when it like drags up and down my arm. I know, I'm picky about doing my makeup. What do you want from me? And I typically would still have my hair up at this point, but I can't waste time going back and brushing it, so I already brushed it before I ate, so yeah. Alright, I'll just finish it up off camera. Alright, you guys, so this is pretty much the finished look. Here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. I love how this look turned out. I've done this look probably countless times with these products. I absolutely love all these products from the Zodiac collection. It's not like this was a review. It was just a get ready with me doing a full face of Colourpop and Zodiac from the Colourpop collection. From the Colourpop and Zodiac collection from Kathleen Lights. I think that I said that really wrong, but whatever. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. I love you guys. And please let me know what your favorite products are from Colourpop. I would love to know. You guys know I freaking love them. Like, they're honestly like my #1 brand. I'm not like trying to be like shilling it to you and telling you guys you have to try it, but honestly, they're amazing. I love their products. So yeah, bye guys. And I'm just a little bit nervous about going to this doctor, but I think I'll be fine. I just was nervous about bringing my mom with me because if I have a bad experience, like I don't want her to get upset if I've had a bad experience or whatever, but I will keep you guys updated. So yeah, bye.